I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. Truth is, Curtis is a swish. Been a swish for many years. Everyone knows it.
So last night she implied that 50 Cent is gay. The boys in the audience were like, ow, that's one for our side.
50 Cent just got caught up in the most humiliating leak of his career. Jaguar Wright just dropped a freak-off tape that allegedly shows 50 in ways no one expected, and it's not with women. The footage is spreading, and the streets are already talking, with whispers that this might be worse than anything Diddy's been accused of. 50 is losing it, going on an unhinged rant against Jaguar, but the damage is already done. We all know 50 Cent is the self-proclaimed king of exposing people's secrets. For years, he's been calling out Diddy, hinting at freak-offs and industry parties, acting like he's above it all. But what happens when the exposer gets exposed? Jaguar has been making waves for exposing the dark underbelly of the music industry for a while now. So when she aimed her fire at 50 Cent, people took notice. She wasn't just hinting or insinuating, she flat out claimed that 50 has been participating in the very things he's accused others of. But if y'all thought this accusation came out of nowhere, let's take a trip back to 2010. The internet has receipts for days, and one of the first things people dug up was that infamous XXL magazine cover.
I think the first time we met, you came out off.
The first time that we met was in BET.
Yeah, backstage.
I was getting a haircut. And, when was that? 106 Park. I think 106.
And I came in the dressing room.
Yep, that was the first time.
Yeah, I ran back there because, like, I was always excited about the idea of Soulja Boy.
Now back then, people side-eyed it, but they didn't think too much of it. But anyway, the cover is looking real different. Let's break it down. 50 Cent standing behind a shirtless Soulja Boy, holding onto his chain, pants low, looking like someone's kept secret. The stance, the positioning, the energy, it was giving something else.
If you Google the cover, 50's wearing like all white, like tight, and then he's got a mask over his head, and he's got his hand around Soulja Boy. It looked kind of booty bandish-ish. That's all I'm gonna say.
At the time, people joked about it looking weird, but Vivica A. Fox later used it as evidence when she hinted that 50 might be on the DL, and now, with Jaguar's allegations circulating, people are connecting the dots. Vivica tried to tell us years ago, but nobody listened. Back in 2003, 50 and Vivica were that it couple. He was at the peak of his rap career, she was one of the biggest actresses in the game, and together they were unstoppable. But their romance didn't last long. Years later, Vivica hit up Vlad TV and got real nostalgic about their relationship, admitting that all the media attention killed the vibe.
And I was used to fame, you know, and the main thing that what the relationship was that we just went way too public, way too fast. The love that I had for him, and still to this day, will always, like, he was the love of my life. I will admit that without any reservations. He will always have a very special place in my heart. But the reason why the relationship ended was because we just went public way too fast, had way too many people in our business, and
she straight up called 50 the love of her life and said she'd do it differently if she had a second chance. That had people in their feelings. But when 50 got wind of the interview, he didn't exactly swoon. He basically co-signed what Vivica said about too many outside opinions ruining things.
You seem to have been like the world's most amazing boyfriend. Chelsea Handler had great things to say about you. Vivica Fox, she said that you are still the love of her life. Do you have a response to that?
Well, no, I don't. I'm not never bothered by when she says that. You know what I'm saying? Because you say, if you just the timing that at the time that we actually interacted with each other, there was we weren't conscious of everything else that's going on. So she'll always say, if you listen to her, she'll say, I would have been private.
Yeah, she wouldn't have had as many people in y'all's business.
Right, because when it got so uncomfortable with everybody else, like when you get pushed and pulled in different directions without it being even her decision.
Right.
Her publicist is saying, do this. This person is, you do this. And and you go, okay, all right.
Apparently, it wasn't just them calling the shots. It was managers, publicists, and everyone in between. And just like that, their fairy tale romance crumbled. Then Vivica went and stirred the pot again. While on Watch What Happens Live, she casually threw out a little something extra about 50. She implied that there was something off about him back then. Something that just wasn't clear. When Andy Cohen brought up 50 saying Empire's ratings dropped because of too much gay stuff, Vivica didn't even hesitate.
What were your thoughts when 50 Cent blamed the second season ratings dip on gay stuff?
First of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
The pot calling the kettle black.
Whoa. That was some tea. That was shade. That was major shade.
Pot calling the kettle black. So, I mean, you're not insinuating that
he's
50
gay?
Cent is...
Oh!
Now, let's be clear. Vivica didn't directly say 50 Cent was gay, but everyone knew what she meant.
You're not insinuating that
he's
50
gay?
Cent is...
Oh, my Lord, please.
And she brought up that same extra large magazine cover as proof that something was off.
I mean, we had a great time. I mean, but he's just seems like he's got something that's not quite clear. So
you mean sometimes if people protest too much about something,
yes,
the fire is happening right there in front of them.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
50 and Soulja weren't about to let that slide. Soulja Boy kicked things off by posting a highly unflattering picture of her with the caption, "Everybody hit up this she's single and ready to mingle." And 50, he went full petty mode, clowning Vivica for years after that. And 50, oh, he took things to a whole different level. He posted right under Soulja's comment and added his own special spin, cracking jokes about Vivica allegedly licking his behind. Yeah. He went there. He even referenced 50 Shades of Grey like he was living a romance novel he didn't sign up for. Then in an interview, he literally said this.
On Instagram,
I said, oh no, because I let her lick my she thinks I'm gay.
And he wasn't done. He clowned Vivica hard and even compared Vivica to a trans man, saying they had the same features. He was out for blood. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy tried to play it cool, saying his connection with 50 was strong and that without 50, there would be no Soulja Boy. And while they were hyping each other up, people started side-eyeing their friendship, wondering if maybe, just maybe, Vivica was onto something.
What's up, this is your kid 50 Cent, and with Soulja Boy, he's sharpening them up right now. Feels good, you know what I mean? My man is highest thing on the street right now. You see me learn to dance on Rap City. If you ain't see it, you better go. You know that? You're. You know what? We're getting it going. But I like Soulja Boy. I like Soulja Boy a lot.
Vivica did eventually apologize to Soulja Boy, but when it came to 50, she didn't say a word. Instead, she doubled down, claiming everything 50 said about their relationship was a lie. But here's the thing, if the rumors weren't true, why were they so mad? If it was all lies, wouldn't they have just laughed it off? Instead, they went on a full attack mode. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So apparently Soulja has been in the mix for a while now, and we're not just talking about his music career. Word on the street is that he's been passed around like an industry favor, and the latest receipts, they got his name written all over them. And then the bomb dropped. An alleged former partner of Soulja Boy came forward in an interview, spilling all the details about their secret relationship.
I met Soulja Boy back in April when he came to Niagara Falls, and me and him swapped numbers through his friend, whatever, Jabari, and me and him just been kicking it for a little while, and until about last month where I told him, like, you gotta stop living in a lie, you gotta stop pretending like you're not gay, because it's been like...
And when I say details, I mean text messages, receipts, and even gifts that Soulja supposedly bought to keep the man quiet. We're talking designer bags, a puppy named Treasure, and a whole lot of industry maneuvering to keep the situation under wraps.
He bought me the dog a month and a half ago, and her name is Treasure. And he also bought me the Gucci bag, the dog carrier bag, and it's real. So I'm feeling like if I'm being treated like a sidekick, I'm telling everything. I got the text messages and everything. I'm at
The situation got even weirder when an old Instagram live between Soulja and Nicki Minaj resurfaced. And if you haven't seen it, yeah, it's really interesting. At one point, Nicki asked him if he knew of any DL rappers, and his reaction said it all.
You think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no. We don't know about that.
Okay. Because I do.
You said what?
Oh, I said I do.
The way that man straightened up and started fumbling through his words, y'all, it was giving panic. He avoided answering, started laughing awkwardly, and kept dodging the question, because at this point, the math is mathing. Meanwhile, Vivica continued going off in other interviews, including with Wendy Williams.
Someone has to be the bigger person. And so I walked over to him, and we sat. I gave him a hug. We talked for a few minutes, and that was that. And hopefully
A few minutes, how many?
Yeah, and even in 2023 on Sherry Shepherd's show, she admitted she still had deep feelings for him.
He was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came?
Well, Ben and Jen did it again, why not?
But 50, he wasn't exactly on the same page. In a throwback post, he shared a clip of his 2003 BET Awards speech, the moment he first flirted with Vivica publicly, but his caption was mean. I look back at some of the shit I did and gotta learn to shut up. Look at that. Look at the end. That's trouble. WTF, he's basically calling that whole relationship a mistake. And here's where the street started really talking. Because it wasn't just Vivica hinting at something about 50, other whispers have floated around too. There was a blind item circulating about a rapper who always called out others for being on the DL, but allegedly threw the same types of parties himself. Then there was that time singer Rufus Wainwright, who's openly gay, professed his love for 50 and said, "I know he's gay. Feel free to call me anytime." And let's not forget The Game once dropping some cryptic comments about 50's preferences back in the day. Then enter Daphne Joy, 50's ex and the mother of his son. After 50 started going in on Diddy for his rumored freak-off lifestyle, Daphne had had enough. She clapped back, hinting that 50 needed to worry about his own past before pointing fingers. She all but confirmed that whatever 50 accused Diddy of, he had a little experience with too. But see, things didn't just stop there. After Vivica spilled her tea, Jaguar Wright decided to add her 2 cents. And baby, if Jaguar is speaking on you, you might as well pack it up. Because if there's one thing about Jaguar, she's gonna tell it all. Now this is where things really start looking suspicious. Because 50 Cent has spent years accusing people of being DL. You name a rapper, 50 has probably called them gay at some point. For example, Diddy. 50 has constantly posted shady pictures of Diddy at parties, hinting that something was off. And even Rick Ross, 50's enemy for life. Remember when he posted those edited pics of Diddy and Rick Ross looking a little too cozy? Well, they might not be too far off in real life either. Or the one with Diddy and Steve Stout both rocking pink outfits with 50 basically implying something was up. Jaguar said it's because 50 knew the game a little too well.
It seems like 50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy.
No, he's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him.
It's been a pattern, and for a while, people just assumed 50 was trolling. But now, people are starting to think it might be projection. Why is 50 always talking about other men's if he's totally straight? Jaguar blew the lid off this theory when she started dropping more allegations. Jaguar went all the way in, claiming that 50 had been marking out gay celebrities for years while secretly hiding his own skeletons. According to her, 50 was the one who introduced Soulja to that side of the industry. And not only did she say it, she claims she saw it. As in, she allegedly watched a whole tape of Soulja and 50 Cent getting to it.
I get an old picture of Soulja Boy when he was 15. And I bet you get as gentle as a lamb. I know exactly, we got the numbers.
Allegedly, 50 Cent, Soulja Boy, and other men were involved in a secret industry party. And that's not all. She even hinted that Soulja Boy had been passed around, saying that 50 Cent was the one who introduced him to the scene. If this is true, it would mean 50 Cent has been deep in the same industry circles he constantly exposes. It's giving hypocrisy at the highest level.
He down in Shreveport acting a fool. But I ain't gonna put you in there.
He in Shreveport doing what?
Acting a fool.
And she didn't stop there. Soulja Boy wasn't the only one caught up in that kind of scene. She suggested that 50 had some things go down while he was in prison and even had to pay people off to keep quiet about it. And then there was the extra large cover drama all over again. Jaguar doubled down, saying that everyone knew something was up with that magazine shoot. She called out the way 50 was standing over Soulja like he was showing him off, and she made sure to mention that weird BDSM-looking mask 50 was wearing. She basically said the cover was a whole message in itself, and we just weren't catching it.
Somebody should ask Soulja Boy how loving he is. He's very loving. All that time they spent together and the way he believed in him. Oh my God. They were almost inseparable. Truth is, Curtis is a swish. Been a swish for many years. Everyone knows it.
Oh, and let's not forget about the house Jaguar brought up.
Why did Curtis Jackson lie to everybody? Why doesn't Curtis Jackson tell people that he has a house in Carrollton, and he's had a house in Carrollton for over 7 years? That he comes down here, getting a lay of the land, hiring private investigators to follow people around. Why didn't he tell anybody that Millennium Studios, which is now G-Unit Studios, was already there? Why is he pretending like he built it from the ground up? He didn't, he bought it. I know Millennium, I used to go there all the time.
It did exist.
Yeah, I know. So why did he lie to everybody? Why did he tell everybody his studio was gonna be in Texas? Why did he keep it so quiet? Why didn't nobody in Shreveport?
Y'all already know Mike Tyson's house had a crazy reputation back in the day. According to Jaguar, those wild parties didn't stop when 50 bought it.
Just like Mike Tyson. Does every time Mike Tyson stuck his makes him any less the that he is in the ring? See, and I think that's the problem that people don't understand when it comes to this hypersexuality in hip hop and masculinity. A lot of people don't realize a lot of the archetypes and everything that they built on are built around Roman soldiers, Greek soldiers who used butt breaking as a way to trauma bond with each other so that they would kill for each other on the field. You got to think about it. Real soldiers back in those days, they didn't spend a lot of time around women. Women were something that happened or something that you did to have babies with. Most of your time was spent with the men in the field.
And then she dropped the real bombshell. She claimed that 50 Cent had encounters in prison that he paid people to keep quiet about. That's why, according to her, he never directly denies anything. Instead, he clowns people to distract from it.
Kind of monster, in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit.
According to Jaguar, he should just come out of the closet.
I'm sick and tired of him. I'd have more respect for him if he came out the closet.
It seems like...
Because he's a lot more Bogart than Brooklyn.
And let's not forget the whole Diddy situation. Because remember when 50 was out here claiming Diddy tried to take him on an all-expenses-paid shopping spree?
Trying to tell you, now, ask me, could he take me shopping? And it f***ed me up because I'm looking like, what the f***? This just like, I want to take you shopping. I got a bankroll out this.
At the time, everyone laughed it off as 50 just clowning Diddy. But looking back, maybe Diddy wasn't shooting his shot at just anyone. Maybe he knew something we didn't. Because let's be real, Diddy doesn't approach men unless he knows there's a chance. And if 50 was really as straight as he claims, why was Diddy so comfortable making that kind of offer? After Jaguar's accusations started gaining traction, 50 Cent suddenly stopped talking about Diddy. Suspicious, right? People started wondering if he was scared because the tape actually exists.
You know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C&D came out, he took all of that Diddy down. Because of his tape.
Jaguar made it clear that 50 could troll all he wanted, but she wasn't backing down. She challenged him to sue her if she was lying, and guess what? Nothing happened. No lawsuits, no clapbacks, no Instagram posts from 50's burner accounts. Just silence. Some fans completely believe Jaguar, saying that 50's reaction is telling. Others think Jaguar is clout chasing. But if that's true, why hasn't 50 Cent sued yet? If it was all lies, wouldn't he shut it down immediately? At least that's what fans are saying. One comment read, "If 50 don't come after her or sue her, she ain't lying, cause we all know how petty 50 is." So what do y'all think? Did Jaguar Wright just drop the biggest bomb on 50 Cent's image? Or is this just another wild industry rumor? The drama isn't over, and you already know we'll be back with more updates. Make sure to check out our next video because if you think this is crazy, wait until you hear what's going on over there.